Okay, okay. I am curious because we are starting Infamous right now. Yes, the PS3 classic. Okay, so they never ported this game over. Well, the PC, they should have. They should have given it the Ghost of Tsushima treatment. I know I'm still using the PNG thing right now for the time being, but we're gonna get to it. Okay, look. So here's what's doing. Here's how it's going. Okay, because I was playing this a bit. Yes, we're gonna save. Okay, yeah, starting a new game. Now I absolutely love this game. Like, words cannot express how much I love the Infamous series as a whole. But the first game and the second game, connectively, I have that also on the I have that also ready as well. Hold a special place in my heart. Now the problem with it is getting it on PC, not easy. What I mean by that is it was a metric pain in the ass to get this working on the emulator because it's not optimized for an emulator because it's a PS3 game. So I had to tone down some settings, had to change some stuff around. You might see some frame drops here and there. But the one thing I can guarantee is that I'm assuming if everything I've done works, we could play the game to completion and then follow the second one after this. We will get back to Jedi Survivor probably over the next week, but I just want to get my first impressions with the Infamous games because, like I said, this is first Infamous. Great game, god tier gameplay and story, holds up really well. This one came out in 2009. And the fact that fucking Sony refuses to do anything with this IP infuriates me to no end. Anyway, I'm rambling enough. Let's get into the game. Like I said, you might see some PS3 era graphics from 2009. We'll deal with it. Helicopter much?
Plus 6 minutes. Pulse is 45. Respiration 10. Looking good, Cole.
Awesome. Awesome. Homograth.
The hell happened?
This never got a movie. The fact that this never got a movie is a crime to me.
God.
Or a TV series. Yeah, the fog and smoke effect is something I couldn't fix right away. When we get the flying ability, you'll notice it.
Wave up if you can hear me. If you can walk, get out of there. Head for the bridge. Hey, you! In the garage! Get the hell out of there! Whole thing is coming down!
Come on, Cole. Move. Move.
What, these inverted ass controls? Oh no, it's just for the thing. Wait, they are inverted controls. I don't want that. Yeah, I'm sure we'll. Yeah, hold on. No. No one in their right mind wants inverted controls. Thank you. Sorry, I just had to. I didn't know that was on by default. I had to change. Hey, you see the little like smoke stuff that's like clear? That's the one thing I couldn't get to work proper. But I think besides that, we're doing great.
Cole! Cole, man, you there? Come on, man, pick up!
Zeke. What the hell's going on? I think there was an explosion.
No shit, there was an explosion. TV says terrorists are blowing stuff up all over the city. Meet me at the Fremont Bridge. We'll get treated.
What the hell? Should be dead. Oh, man.
I mean, so as you know, there is a lot that goes on in these games. It's like if the X-Men had a love child with, I want to say, not Batman. It's very X-Men-esque. like considering what conduits are and how they're straight up mutants, but instead of like having their power naturally, they have to have a source to it, you know? Cole is lightning, Delsin is a bio elite, so he can take other people's powers, you know? Zeke, arguably the best ride or die friend of all time. Well, to an extent. Damn. Accidentally killing people. He doesn't even realize he's doing it, man. Like, I would love to see the original timeline, you know, when Cole got his powers somewhat naturally. That's what I want to see. What caused Kessler? We know what caused it, but I want to see leading up to it.
I don't know, hear the voices of the dying. Thousands crushed by falling buildings or burned alive in the fires. Trish lost her sister, almost lost me. Zeke was always there, somehow sure that I'd wake up, while outside the city fell apart. A plague struck, followed by rioting, theft, rapes, civilization committing suicide. In a bullshit attempt to contain the biological threat, the federal government locked down all access in and out of the city. Now we're stuck in this cage with the psychos. Cops are all but gone off the streets, either dead or too chicken shit to stand against the gangs that control things now. Outside, things were bad. But inside me, something was beginning. Scary as hell at first. Gotta understand, there was no one to talk to, no experts to consult. But with time, I'm learning to control it, master it. Just hope it's not too late.
Infamous. Oh yeah. Pretty intense intro, I'm not gonna lie. Then again, most explosions are intentionally intense, is a weird way to phrase it. Day 14 of the quarantine. Yeah, it might be a bit choppy at first, but once the gameplay gets going, you'll find it's rather smooth. To me, it is. Hopefully. Haven't tried streaming it before, so there's that.
I thought you were gonna watch TV.
Batteries are dead again. You mind putting on a freak show?
Sure. I'm glad it's good for something.
Probably need to charge them all. TV's a hog. Woo! That's what I'm talking about!
So I'm going to check something real quick. Gotta just go to intermission. I'm going to check a little something. I want to check, see if it's right with the emulator. Because of configuration. Ah, I see. That's why it's so quiet. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try boosting it up to about 50, because it's at 30% of its max volume. Let's try putting it at about 100 of its max volume. You know what it's probably supposed to be. Because I was wondering why it was a bit quiet. I'm going to apply, save custom configuration. So now, the game, yeah, there we go. Yeah, the game should be a bit louder now. I was wondering why it was quiet. Yeah, we should be fine.
Hurry up! Woo-hoo! Nice job, man! Boob tubes are working.
Weird.
4 TVs.
It feels like I got more power.
Yeah? Try frying those dummies over there. With all the nutballs running around, it'd be nice to see how much juice you're packing. Yeah! Lay into it, man! Fry those suckers! Yeah! Woo!
Pretty sweet.
Whoa! You see that? Flying so low, thought it was gonna crash into us.
No, I'm gonna go for the good playthrough. I'm not gonna be evil.
Hey, it's a TV jacker. I love this guy.
Just got word that the feds dropped some relief packages into Archer Square. The liars running the corporate media tell us that we're gonna get our fair share, that more is coming. That's easy for them to say. They're not the ones living in this hellhole. And the truth is that we've been abandoned, and no one's coming to save us. So head over to Archer Square and get that food before the Reapers show up. Voice of survival out.
This 2009 angst.
Food. Man, you must be out of your mind. Think any of those pencil necks gives a crap about us? This is a PR stunt.
That isn't gonna stop you from pigging out, though, is it?
Hell no, it ain't. Zeke's gotta eat.
See the Sly Cooper sticker on his
I'm using the express elevator.
on his bag.
Oh, man, you get to have all the fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whew! Oh, that was one hell of a jump, man. Wish I could do something like that. Running down all those stairs. That sucks donkey balls. Hey, Cole, before we head over to Archer, I need to go pick up a new 6-shooter.
Oh, here we go.
That was badass. The second you touch it, the electricity in your hands cooks off the gunpowder, and the whole thing goes kabam! The look on your face was priceless.
Damn near blew my hand off.
Which is why you won't be touching the new one. Traded this guy one of my homemade batteries for it.
The ones that explode when you use them?
Hell, he doesn't know that. Come on. Told me he was gonna leave the gun in the parking lot a few blocks from here. Hey, Cole, you know what I miss? Pizza. Big, sloppy slice, dripping with grease and pepperoni. And payday. Having a big, fat wad of bills in your pocket.
Yeah, I'd settle for some hot water.
Hey, remember that time we were coming home from Duffy's and I had to take a leak? And that bike cop was yelling at me to put up my hands?
You pissed all over him.
Hey, he told me to put up my hands. While he's fumbling around, I jump back in and we take off. Awesome!
Yeah, awesome. Until we run into a wall of cops.
Like I said, awesome! Bummer we won't be able to do anything like that again.
Yeah, not unless some genius invents a car that doesn't explode when I sit in it.
Ah, come on! He told me he was gonna leave it under a car. I figured there'd be only one. We'll never find it.
Stand back. I got an idea.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Hellacious! Hell, I didn't know you could do something like that.
Not a 6-shooter. It's a Beretta.
Neither. There was this surge.
Hey, man, you don't look so hot.
Trained all of a sudden. Hang on a sec. Did you see that?
Man, you're a walking battery. You must have to recharge whenever you fire off a bunch of juice.
I can feel the electricity surging through me. Almost like I'm being healed by it.
Oh, this rocks so hard. Come on, let's haul tail over to Archer Square before someone takes all the brewskis.
Cole, you there?
Hey, babe.
You hear they dropped some food?
Yeah, Zeke and me are heading over there.
How are you feeling?
All right, I guess. Powers are all over the place. It used to be I could barely power a light bulb. Now I'm jumping off of buildings, frying the junk on Zeke's roof.
You jumped off a building. What were you thinking?
Relax. I'm fine.
Just take it easy. After what happened to Amy, I couldn't...
Yeah,
See you guys at Archer Square. I love you.
you too.
Whole story is so sad, dude. Like, it's just... when you know why the villain does what he does, you know, the villain, like, it's been like, what, 15 years plus, you know? 16-year-old game. There's no way I'm spoiling things, but, you know, for the sake of everything, I'll keep my mouth shut for the time being.
Woo! Boy, it's stuck up there. I hate to say it, pal, but, hey, you're the only guy here who'd live from a fall like that. You gotta climb up there and knock that stuff free.
I do love the parkour aspect of this game. coming out like a year after Assassin's Creed, people were going buck wild for this, plus powers involved.
Yeah, we are eating.
Damn. Too late.
That's where I caught my first sight.
Reapers.
The Reapers. Before the blast, they were just a bunch of junkies dealing drugs. Now, they own the Neon District. Taking whatever they want. That changes today.
Dang, those freaks are brutal. Away.
Protect Zeke. He just walked in a puddle while I was standing in it. You dumbass.
Dang, those freaks are brutal. Well, there's more on the way. Well, that's the last of them. It's chow time.
A lot of food here. Enough to feed the three of us for weeks, maybe longer. But if I fry a couple people in the crowd, the rest will run away.
The karmic choice.
The food will be all ours, but some of these guys might starve.
Take the food or shoot them and keep all the food for yourself. Do the right thing. Banana Man, indeed. I'm doing the PNG thing for the time being. Because it's absurdly hot in California and I don't want to be sweating that much on camera. For now. Important. Your karma take a tracked in a curved blue and red meter in the top left corner of the screen. Evil actions such as hurting pedestrians give you evil karma, red. Conversely, good actions give you good blue karma. Karmic state determines how people react to you, your available power upgrades, and your appearance. That's... Oh yes, infamous. It is a very nostalgic thing. I got it to work on an emulator as best as I could. Hopefully it looks fine.
Trish,
Oh, I'm so glad you got the food down.
It's a
These
great
poor
game.
people
I got
are
both on this.
starving.
just doing what I can. Someone had to help them.
Those idiots dropped us canned prunes. Now who the hell would want to eat this crap?
Played the first and second. Yeah, the third one, Second Sons, was actually pretty decent, but they just never went anywhere with it.
Hey, Cole, you're up on the big screen.
Our city, our lives. Someone from your family died? Well, now you know who to blame. If you know anything about this guy, let me know. Because we gotta get the word out on this terrorist. Whoever he is, we're gonna make him pay.
It's some random dude just like shit all over Cole.
Ever been called a terrorist? All I remember from that day is going to work and then running for my life. That video, though. How'd I get that package? Why would I deliver a bomb? For who? Regardless, the consequences are everywhere. Whatever there'd been between Trish and me was gone. She didn't say a word, no emotion, nothing, just walked away. By then, people nearby were starting to recognize me. It was gonna get ugly. Even Zeke was giving me weird looks. He and I made quick plans to meet up at Stampton Bridge. Try to get out of town. Just hope he shows. Because right now, I'm a little short on friends.
Now, I am a diehard fan of this game and this series. There is nothing they could do to make me hate the Infamous franchise, because all three games are absolute bangers in my opinion. The initial problem that I have is the Sony problem.
Damn it! I gave you the food. Leave me alone.
It's the Sony problem. They'll make an amazing franchise, and what they'll do is just make 1 or 2, even 3 in this case, great games, and then just absolutely do nothing with the IP for over a decade.
Listen, man, I'm almost to the bridge. Since everyone here
It's insane to me. They could just print money by at least porting these games to PC.
Zeke,
They did it with Ghost of Tsushima.
thanks for watching my back.
Oh, sorry, civilian.
Sure, man. I ain't about to do
Like-
anything that might piss you off.
Like they did it with Ghost of Tsushima.
See ya.
And the Ratchet and Clank, the one that was on PS5. What makes absolutely no sense to me. Absolutely no sense to me. They could literally print money with the Infamous franchise. They can print money with the Jak and Daxter franchise. Yet they choose to do nothing with either of them. Game classics that people have been asking for well over a decade to be ported or updated. Like the only way to play the Infamous games on PS5 is to like stream it through their like old like classic game streaming service, which is dumb because you have to use Wi-Fi to do it. It's insane. It's like they have because it feels weird. Like, you know, it does feel weird because they have what's the phrase I'm looking for? I don't know what it is with like corporations like that will make something amazing and then do nothing with it. Like Warner Brothers and the Nemesis system, I think is just fucking stupid. You mean to tell me you make probably the greatest game mechanic in the past quarter century and you decide to copyright it so other people can never use it and then decide to close the studio that makes games that use it and cancel all the upcoming games that are going to use this Nemesis system just because you can? Like there has to be some sort of anti-consumer like bullshit, right? Or obviously it's like anti-competitive, or it's like a competitive thing, but also anti-consumer, but that's like horrendously anti-consumer. Make something that everyone in the industry could benefit from exponentially, copyright it so only you yourself can use it, and then make a deliberate choice to never use it again. There has to be some type of law against that. Like there's no way you could be that petty and then get surprised when people no longer trust you as a brand or as a corporation because you're going out of your way to show like biblical levels of greed and pettiness, you know? Now, don't get me wrong. Oh, Mambo8824, thanks for the follow, bud. You'd be surprised when it comes to Sony. Don't even get me started on Sony lately. They have been shitting the bed very consistently the past couple of years. Like, need I remind you of the Helldivers debacle of last year? Helldivers, which, in my opinion, I mean, I'm a hardcore Space Marine 2 fan because I love Warhammer, but to go off on a little tangent here, I think that if Sony didn't shoot themselves in the foot with the initial launch and restriction of Helldivers 2, it would have won Game of the Year, no doubt in my mind. The problem that I think came with it is Sony got greedy. They're like, yes, let's let people download and play this game for the first 3 months and then restrict people. And like 80% of the countries where people could play it with most, like a majority of their player base from, it was like, oh, let's just make it so they no longer legally, or not legally, they're no longer able to play the game that they already paid for. Not only paid for, have been playing for months on end. They're just like, oh, unless they make a PlayStation account, they can't play it. I'm like, then why let them play it in the first place without one? It's like bad business practices to like an obscene level. And you're just like, who in their right mind in the boardroom was like thinking that would be a good idea? Oh, instead of convincing them to make them, we'll force them to make an account with our products, because if they don't, they'll be locked out of playing a game that they paid for. I'm just like, that's the dumbest ass idea I've seen, at least in modern consumerism, but also, or at least modern corporate decision. But at the same time, they shot themselves in the foot so badly. I don't know if they rolled back on it, but all I know is that following that, they've been making bad after bad after bad decision. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sony, I think, is a great company. I think it has potential, more than enough potential. I think if they just stop letting like the corpos and like the suits determine what projects can and can't be greenlit versus the people who actually work there, you know what I mean? Because I guarantee there's projects people want to work on, but they're like, no, focus everything on this. And then they made fucking Concord. Mind you, they made Concord after they canceled a crossover game with Prototype and Infamous. Can you imagine how amazing that would have been, the crossover game between Prototype and Infamous? I'm assuming, I don't know if they would have brought back Cole. They probably could have had Delsin from the third game. And since he's a bio leech, he could literally touch anyone and gain their powers. Like, dog, he could like potentially take Alex Mercer's like biological manipulation ability. You know what I mean? Can you imagine how insane that would have been? And then they're like, no, let's spend 8 years of development and $40 million on Concord and then just flop the game immediately 2 weeks after release. Do you have an idea how dumb, like, who decided that they should make a PvP hero shooter but not make it free to play, charge people $40 just to buy it, and then shut down less than like what, 4 months after release because of how bad a backlash and how low the player count is? I think the player count only went up to like 700 at peak, right? Like they expected so much and it flopped so hard. Like indie free to play games get higher numbers than that. Like, it's insane. Like, who thought any of this was a good idea? There's no way if they had someone like under 50 years old in the writing and like the boardroom that those decisions would have got greenlit, because no one in the age group that the demographic they're trying to hit would think this is a good idea. Back to the game. I know I'm rambling and it's a tangent, but you know, it's just, I love Sony. I have a deep love and appreciation for Sony, but I don't love what they've been doing lately. Do I think they could do better? Obviously. Do I think they should do better? Given their track record, they don't really have a choice. God, I forgot how bad the Reapers were, like fucking everywhere before you clear them out. Because let's be real for a second. If you had the ability to say, let's say you get a magic, like a genie's lamp, you could have any wish you would want. I'd wish for an Infamous 1 and 2 perfect port and remaster, and a greenlit for Infamous 3.
You can get us past those baton-wielding goons.
We're getting out of here, one way or another. Follow my lead.
Like, I would go absolutely buck wild for an Infamous game re-announcement, or even like a port or like not even remaster, remake. Give it the Oblivion remaster treatment.
Gonna have to get past those riot cops if we want out of here.
I think it'd be great. I'd love more Infamous games.
From inside the crowd.
Hell, even a Sly Coopered game.
Help keep the heat off Zeke and me. Of course, that means a lot of innocent people will get the hell kicked out of them.
Always go the good guy. Oh. They immediately just start opening fire. Classic government. Another franchise, the Killzone franchise. Killzone would do great if they just ported it over or remastered all of it. They had like, what, 3 Killzone games? Or the Resistance games, Fall of Man? I would love to fight more Chimeras. I was gonna check out Stellar Blade for PC, but I don't know. Here's the thing. I know it immediately topped charts the moment it came out because it's like a Gooner game. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with the Gooner game. They're like very open about what the game is about. It's just like, you know, boobala and ass and titties, basically. Nothing wrong with that. People could like what they like, but they gotta admit, sex sells, and to a large extent. And people are like, oh, it's not what it's about, it's great gameplay. I'm like, yeah, dog, like, I've seen the gameplay. It's just boobala. Why are you walking into gunfire? But and different outfits. They had a Nier Automata collab, didn't they? Like anything that has a Nier Automata collab, I'm immediately interested because I love that game for obvious reasons. But you know, because 2B is well, a complex character to say the least. Because don't get me wrong, I think Nier Automata is a great game. But I have never been more confused by playing a game than I have Nier Automata. Like, I played the initial campaign to its completion until you get to, like, 9S's story. because, like, yeah, it's just confusing. I don't like being confused. Some people I know do. But when I'm confused, my head starts to hurt. And when my head hurts, I don't think straight.
Hey man, head for the quarantine station. It's our ticket out of here.
I had no clue. I have no clue what you're talking about. So, I mean, you know what I mean.
Open to a wall of razor wire machine guns. Zeke made a break for it, smashed in the gate to the decontamination unit, and fell headlong into the harbor. And I moved faster than I knew I could.
Is it only on Sony? I'm not sure.
I was greeted by name.
I've seen a lot of people play it, but I don't know what it's specifically
I'd
on.
seen the footage of me at Ground Zero and came here to wait, figuring I'd try to escape, knowing I'd have powers. She explained that before the blast, her husband John had been assigned to infiltrate the First Sons.
If it isn't, I wouldn't know.
Working on a project they
Oh, Nier
called
Automata, you
the
mean?
Ray Sphere.
Nier Automata's like on every console, dude.
To drain the neuroelectric energy from a group of people and concentrate it into an individual. She'd lost contact with John the night of the blast. Despite all her connections, Moya was losing hope. Yet she'd found me.
That's very honorable. Well, that's a very valid thing to do.
Ready to make me an offer. I go back to the city, find John in the Ray Sphere, and she'll get me out of the quarantine and clear my name. This whole Ray Sphere thing sounds crazy to me. Suddenly I'm a human light socket, so maybe I should cut her some slack.
I mean, Sony...
Because of the riot topside, this is the only way back into the city. Given the state of our new partnership, I've taken the liberty of cloning your phone's frequency. I've got a lock on your GPS locator, and I can hear every word you say.
That's super.
I mean, personally, I think Sony games are really hit or miss. Either they're really good or they're really... Is the thing the kids saying nowadays like mid, when it's like not bad but not great, just like right in the middle? Is that what mid means? But it's just, there's so much potential for like absolute amazing stories, and a lot of the time they just don't let like developers be creative in any way, and it bites them in the bullet. It bites them in the end. It's like when a director is never told no, even though the writing people in the writing room are just like, hey, maybe this is kind of a bad idea to make it to film, and we're in this room to like lush out some of the worser ideas, or worse ideas, not worser. You know what I mean? But I feel like with game dev, it's like a hit or miss, because a lot of games are like someone's like brainchild. You know what I mean? Like The Last of Us, I think, is an amazing series. Now that both games are on PC, I'm probably going to play them again at some point, because I played them on PlayStation, the first one, when it came out on PS3, and my brother extensively played Last of Us Part 2 because he loves that game to death. He doesn't much care for the story, though. Well, he actually, no, that's not right. He does care for the story. He just doesn't like the...
Pressure has dropped in the main running under the bridge.
Whatchamacallit?
What's going on down there?
Like, there's parts of the story he loves and parts of the story he hates, but I think everyone has that with like certain games that they play. They love the games they play until they get to that one scene where they're just like, oh, I can't stand playing this over and over again. So they only usually have 1 or 2 playthroughs, because they love the game until they get to like quote unquote that part. But luckily for Last of Us 2, that part in question is in the beginning.
Don't forget who's holding your leash, Cole. You find John and the Ray Sphere, and I get you out of there. No questions asked. Make you double cross me or do something stupid, and I will throw you into a hole so deep that you won't even know which way is up. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
It just, with this whole Ray Sphere thing, don't get me wrong, I love Infamous. I love it as a story. I love it as a franchise. Like I said, I just wish Sony would do more with it. It's just, I just wish they do more with it. But you have a dude who has superpowers, and your first instinct is, hey, let's start fucking with him. You know, they're just like, hey, let's not recruit him. Let's not give him the help he needs. It's not like give him a full decontamination. Let's let him solve all of our problems.
Yeah, nice work on that gate, Wrecking Ball.
Hell, live through the fall, no problem. But, getting back to shore? Well, let's just say I'm no Michael Phelps.
Yep, 2009.
Understatement.
Hey, take it easy, Lightning Rod. So, how the hell'd you live through that, man? Bullets flying everywhere, all over the place? Figured you were a goner.
Let's head home. I'll fill you in on the way.
Still waiting for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Dude, don't even remind me. How many years have we been waiting for Beyond Good and Evil 2?
And it drains neuroelectric energy.
Oh, I knew it! All the stuff I've been saying, every word is true. Government's in cahoots with a secret organization.
20 years, dude. Didn't the first one come out in like 2000 and I want to say 3?
You're gonna hurt yourself.
That race sphere must dish out powers to anyone controlling it. You gotta bring it back here.
Sure, I could use a sidekick.
Ah, hell with that. Zeke Jedediah Dunbar is his own man.
Your middle name is Jedediah?
Yes, it is. After my grandfather. Strong man for a man his size. I don't know where Zeke comes from, but I'm certain...
You need to take a nap and a bath. I got things to do.
Says he misses pizza, meanwhile has a box next to him. Over 20 years for Beyond Good and Evil 2. My heart aches.
The coordinates have been uploaded into your phone. Give me a call when you're in position.
Orton, you receive experience points including missions, performing stunts, and engaging in combat. Use XP to upgrade your powers. Yeah. Yep, came out 2003. Yeah, see? So well over 20 years. My heart hurts because it's such a good game. Such a good game. And yet their whole logic is, well, here's the thing. I think let it cook in the oven a bit more, you know. Everyone loved that game. It's such a good game, dude. It's just, oh god. It's, oh, I'm getting heated for this. But, you know, I understand the creative process can take a while, but after 10 years of development, you're like, okay, is this thing real? Are you guys actually working on this? After 20 years, that's a whole generation of people, you know? Like, there are people who are in their, well, 20s who weren't even alive when the first game came out, and they're like gonna hear the amazing, how great the second game is. We're like, wait, this is a sequel? What's the first one? Oh, you wouldn't know that. You weren't born yet. Imagine being that guy. That's just like, oh, you would have loved this like 20 years ago. I wasn't born 20 years ago. I'm like, oh god, oh gee, oh golly gee, Rick. Like, imagine being that. I am that in a lot of ways, you know. I'm about to be 30, and so I'm getting to the point where like I'm having to explain to some of my younger friends, like that I meet through work or through mutual acquaintances, or hell, even through some of the other parents at the school of my nephew goes to, right? Because like, you're hanging out with the other adults and you're just like talking about games. And you realize some of these people that have kids that are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old are like probably like a couple years younger than you. And you're just like, yeah, even 4 or 5 year difference. They lived a whole different childhood. They lived in a whole different like America and like world. I was 32 when it came out. Gee, God, oh, wow, you must be, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I had to explain, now mind you, like I said, I'm 29, about to be 30. I have a good buddy of mine named Eric who just turned 21. Mind you, I've known him like about 2 years. I had to explain to him several of the references that another buddy of ours, he and I were making. And he was like, oh wait, is that like a recent thing? I'm like, no man, this is from like 2001. He's like, oh, I wasn't born yet. I'm like, oh yeah, we forgot how young he was. So like we were talking about, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like one of the MTV Music Awards from like, I think it was the one from like, no, I'm trying to remember. It had to have been one from like 2000 and like 1999. I think it was like not the MTV Music Awards, but like the Video Game Awards from like 2003, where they had like, fuck, I cannot remember the life of me. Like I said, it's been over 20 years. Yeah, so like you ever have the feeling you're hanging out with someone through like a mutual friend and you're just like, oh, you're trying to explain something to them and it's a reference they don't get. Yeah, we both grew up with MTV back when it had actual music. Like, imagine hearing that. Like,
all right,
we brought it up to him And he's like, oh yeah, MTV for like, he's like, what, the reality shows, right? I'm like, no, there wasn't, it's not, well, now it's reality shows. When I was a child, it had actual music videos.
Transmitter of some type. Call me when you get over there.
Now, it felt, because obviously the world is changing. There's no avoiding that. You know? There's no avoiding the world changing. You can't fight the passage of time, unless you're a vampire, mind you. But yeah, I used to watch it 24/7. Dude, so I remember vividly being woken up very early in the morning when it would be either, because we would leave MTV running in the background for like, you know, noise to sleep to. And what would
Found it.
always wake me up, they would have this, it wasn't Nirvana. Yeah, Max Headroom. So I don't know if it was Nirvana or if it was Led Zeppelin that they would play, but no, it was Ozzy Osbourne. I remember they had this Ozzy Osbourne music video. I think it was Crazy Train. They would play like, they would blast it at like 4 in the morning every morning for some reason.
Look around and see if you can find another one.
And when I tell you, it's like having a sound speaker next to your, well, obviously no matter what volume you'd have the TV at, it would just play at full like blast for no reason. And it would always, it's not that it would turn me insane, but it made me very paranoid to fall asleep in my room. Simply due to the fact that I know I'd be woken up by like Ozzy Osbourne screaming all aboard. Which, don't get me wrong, great song. Love Ozzy Osbourne for as crazy of a person that he is. Still crazy that he like, was it ants that he snorted? Like he snorted fire ants, right? Because that's what he got. Well, no, he's famous for like, people think he bit the head off of bats, which, you know, I wasn't there. I can't confirm or deny whether he did bite the head off a bat. I remember my dad would talk about it a lot, because he loved Ozzy Osbourne back in the day. But yeah, I would just be woken up by that song, and it would make my brother laugh really hard because he just loved, yeah, he thought it was fake. Yo, he did. He thought it was fake. Oh, yeah. So he did bite the head off a bat. Because I remember they would spoof that all the time. You remember in the movie Little Nicky from like the year 2000? They had it to where like the angelic ball that Nicky was given and he smashed it. Like when the time comes, you'll know what to do with it. He smashes it. Ozzy Osbourne comes out and bites the head off his brother who turned into a bat. They're like, Ozzy? He's like, holy shit. All I know is I'd be very irresponsible if I had like lightning-based superpowers. You know, not to play into the stereotype that like, because I saw this thing where it was like whenever there's a black superhero, they either get one of two power sets, either it's lightning or ice-based. And so I had to think about it. And so far the ones that come to mind are obviously Black Lightning, Static Shock, Storm. I want to say, well, Katara from Last Airbender, but she's Inuit, like, you know, Eskimo Inuit, because, you know, water tribe. But, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, the Falcon, Sam Wilson, he doesn't have superpowers. He just has a really cool suit and like a really good in combat. And then there's also Luke Cage. He's just super strength. Then there's also, I want to say, is his name not Mr. Miracle, but it's like, he's a really smart, fuck, I can't remember. He's like the smartest man in DC, in the DC universe. It's not Mr. Terrific. No, it is Mr. Miracle. Mr. Terrific is Scott Free, the guy who could escape from anything. Storm can control all weather. Yeah, so it's not just lightning. But a character that has ice powers would probably be the only one I could think of at the top of my head who was like a black character with like ice powers would be Frozone from The Incredibles. But then again, it's like kind of crazy because I keep hearing that stereotype where like, oh yeah, like they always have like lightning powers. I'm like, I would fucking love electricity based powers. It's just, if I had electricity based powers, I would never have to pay my light bill again. I'd be an absolute menace to like drones and stuff.
You hear that?
Not like violent towards drones, but I would be like, hey man, restricted fly space.
I've almost cracked it, but I need another sample. Look around for more of those files.
Gotta be careful around water. Yeah, that's the problem that Cole has for now. Because I assume when you're, you know, if he had time to perfect his abilities, he could like hold a gun. Like he explained the first time he held a pistol after getting his powers, it just blew up in his hand because he couldn't control the discharge that he had. Same with sitting in a car. So like, it brings the question, what else is he like, until he completely masters his powers, there's no telling like what he could accidentally harm himself with or others with. Like this game is a big proprietor of him stepping in a puddle of water and shocking everyone who's next to it. I mean, sure, it'd be inconvenient. I imagine taking a bath would be rather difficult, but there's several times he's in water, you know, bodies of water, and doesn't like fry himself. He does electrocute everyone else, but he doesn't fry himself. God, I hate shielded enemies. All I know is that until you get like the glide ability, it's like the movement is very slow, which can be remedied if you just speed through it. But right now we're just testing to see if the emulation works properly. Like so far it seems fine. The only, yeah, see the smoke like pixelated effect? That's the one thing I couldn't fix, like the venting stuff.
Give me a second.
And the glide ability has that too naturally, so it's like very choppy.
A decrypting algorithm into your phone. It should let you listen to the messages.
Found 3 of 32 dead
Tesla
drops.
from detonating the ray sphere. Damn thing took out 5 or 6 square blocks. Killed God knows how many. Found the ray sphere in the blast crater next to some kid. Don't know if he was dead or not. Didn't have time to check. I'm gonna try and hole up somewhere. If anyone is even listening to these things, I need immediate extraction. Please. Got to get me out of here before Kessler finds me.
You understand any of that?
I don't believe it. That's John. He must have used dead drops to communicate with his handlers.
English?
It means there are probably more of those scattered around the city. You should try and find as many as you can. They might tell us where he took the ray sphere.
Find John in the ray sphere, and I'm out, right?
I know the deal, Cole.
Just making sure.
It's just kind of insane to me that they have the ray sphere, right? And Kessler's whole plan, I don't know, spoiler for a 16-year-old game. Like I said, I wasn't going to talk about it earlier, but I don't care because like you know exactly what this game is, so you know exactly what the story is. Like, sure, people are like, oh yeah, spoilers, but if the game's over 10 years old and you're watching someone play it who has played it before, and you're just like, oh, spoilers, I'm like, dude, it's been over a decade. If you don't know the story, that's kind of on you. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, Kessler, Cole's future self. Like, it's him from the future who came back in time to stop the beast from destroying all of creation and all of humanity, right? And so he goes back far enough in time to start the organization that creates the ray sphere in the first place. So like jump starting its development by literal decades,
In case you haven't heard,
and ensuring his own like birth and getting into like Empire City and getting his powers. But after a while you could slide along the power lines. Yes, you get that like as one of the movement abilities from activating a substation. What's nuts is that Kessler's whole idea, he's Cole's future self. He's like, I'm gonna go back in time and traumatize my younger self enough to where he'll be strong enough to fight the ultimate enemy. When he could have been, how about I team up with my younger self, teach him how to use his powers, and then we could both fight the ultimate enemy. The second one's even better. The second one is so good to me, but it's just, the writing is so good, like so absurdly good. But I hate the only aspect about it is that it somewhat gives you a, not necessarily a time limit, like gameplay wise, but narratively there's a time limit going on, like how far the beast is from like a New Orleans, or not New Orleans, it's like their version of New Orleans, but like I was gonna say Saint Denis, but that's Red Dead Redemption. So like it's insane to me that Kessler's whole plan was, I'm just gonna make him strong enough psychologically and power-based wise that he'll be able to fight the beast head on when he first shows up and defeat him. My whole shit is, wouldn't it be a lot easier for y'all to kill this thing if you found out who the beast was? Maybe kill him before he ever becomes a threat and gets his powers. I don't know. Maybe team up with your younger self. Train him how to use his powers so he'll be even more absurdly powerful by the time the beast does show up. And then you two could fight him together. But he's like, no, I gotta traumatize my younger self. And I'm just like, that's just kind of dumb. The second you start out so OP, only get stronger. Yeah, but they nerf you a bit because they're just like, oh, the beast broke my powers, so they give you like a hammer that's like a kilowatt thing, so you could like have better melee. But the whole time I'm just like, literally, when the beginning of this game is like maxed out abilities Cole from like the end of this game. Like the second game, you start out so absurdly powerful, they had to nerf you in a way. It makes sense how they did it. But also, I'm just like, Cole's got to be like he's got to be both the luckiest and the most unlucky man on the planet. Because, yeah, he got like arguably the best kind of superpowers you could get in a modern world. But yet, keeps getting fucked with by his time-traveling future self and makes it so his own children are never born. Like in the cutscene you see of Kessler's like future, where like without the time travel, the original timeline, he had a wife, he had Trish, he had their 2 daughters, and he's like,
at least a couple of hours.
Yeah, I don't ever think I played. Yeah, Second Son is a really good game. I will say you're playing as a different character. You're playing as Delsin Rowe, and it's a world where conduits are like normalized, but they're still a marginalized group. So it's straight up the X-Men, right? Really good. But unlike Cole, Delsin is a power sponge. So his conduit ability is kind of like the character from My Hero Academia, where he could just touch another person with powers and immediately permanently gain their set of powers. Yeah, that's why I didn't play it. So it's because the obviously you know what happens at the end of the second game. Cole quote unquote dies, destroying the beast by activating another ray sphere, and the third game takes place 10 years after that. So people know what conduits are. It's a society that's revolved around the existence of conduits relatively. And a lot of them are rounded up and put into a specific prison by another even stronger conduit who controls concrete. Your character Delsin, his Native American tribe, is attacked by this conduit who's looking for a escaped convict who is a conduit that can control smoke and manipulate smoke. Delsin fights this guy, touches him, you know, when he like attacks him, and absorbs his powers. Now, he doesn't steal the powers, he absorbs it and gets the power set for himself. Very busted and broken ability. In the evil ending of Infamous Second Son, he goes to that prison where there's 600 other conduits and he takes all of their powers. Like, he absorbs all of their powers for himself, so he has 600 new abilities and full mastery of their power sets. He's absurdly busted. But I'll never forgive them for this. What they hinted at the second game is that Cole's body never decayed, and there was a chance that Delsin could find Cole's body, because Zeke knows where his body is, and then Delsin could, like, get Cole's powers, but they never did anything with it. They just gave you Cole's jacket. They even had Zeke do voice lines, and I'm just like, I would love to see Delsin accidentally resurrect Cole, and that's how the third Infamous game would start. So can you imagine 2 people with lightning-based powers just be like, hey, I'm kind of a power leech. I kind of took yours by mistake, but here's some other ones I have. You know? It's just... because canonically, the good ending of Infamous 2 is what happens. So it's like really good, but also I would just love to see them continue either story. Either Cole's or Delsin. I get Cole as quote unquote, you know, sacrifice himself to save humanity. But the crazy thing is, I don't know, it's been a long time since I played Second Son, but if I'm remembering correctly, they explain why the emergence of conduits happened 10 years later is because the government put something in the water supply to inadvertently activate the conduit gene in like prepubescent teenagers or like people going through their adolescence. So it's literally the mutants from the X-Men, or the X-Men from the mutants that are the mutants that are the X-Men. Or the X-Men from Marvel Comics. I'm like brain spottled right now. But the government directly causes more conduits to show up with different random sets of powers. But the ones that we see are neon light, a smoke, a power sponge, concrete, and then video. They hinted at someone having the ability of they showed someone using a conduit that had paper powers to manipulate paper. And they talked about someone who could manipulate glass. But like some of these abilities, yeah, they sound absurdly busted, but there would be no practical way to like incorporate that in the gameplay without being so absurdly powerful it just takes all the fun out of it. I was so looking forward to Wolverine, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. Oh yeah, because Sony. Yeah, I think because we talked about this before. So Sony has a habit of, if a game of theirs gets leaked, they cancel the project completely. And I think they might do it with like Wolverine, because it's not a lot of it got leaked. Like the whole story got leaked, and gameplay evidence. People like hackers got like early like alpha game, like alpha build of the game, or a beta build of the game, and they were just posting YouTube videos of them playing the fucking game. It's insane. And they're like, oh yeah, pay us this ransom or we leak the whole thing. And Sony's like, okay, we'll just cancel the project. They're like, no, wait, don't cancel the project. I'm like, dog, you know how many years of development they just pissed away because like hackers are greedy? I'd be so mad. Like, I was looking forward to that Wolverine game, man. And now I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, because some dudes just couldn't help themselves. Yeah, that's Sony for you. I'm just like, so what? It gets leaked. Still finish the project. Don't ruin it for everybody. Just like, I don't like that they know too much too early. I'm like, dog, they're not speaking for everyone. They're not on our side. Like, hackers don't speak for everyone. They're like, acting like 1% of people like makes up the mindset of everyone else. And I'm just like, oh, you got to punish everyone for the action of like 5 or 6 people, you know? But like you said, that's Sony for you. Do I approve of it? No. Do I condone it? Also no. Am I mad about it? You betcha. I mean, that's why they canceled like the Spider-Man multiplayer stuff.
Okay, Moya, what now?
I have to wait for it to come to PC if it ever did, because I was not getting a PS5 just to play it. Dog, I'm gonna be real with you. I felt the exact same way about the Marvel Spider-Man games. I played Spider-Man 2018 on PS4, but I was not going to play Miles Morales, buy a PS5 just to play Miles Morales. That being said, when Miles Morales came to PC, I bought it immediately. I had a blast with it. And then Spider-Man 2 came to PC, but I just didn't have much of an interest in Spider-Man 2. It's like, yeah, I know what happens, the Venom symbiote, and then Miles and all this and that.
Isn't here, Moya.
But
just a dead woman.
You just, I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I'm saying this now. But what annoyed me so much is just like, it feels bad to say that the hype died down for the Marvel Spider-Man game like a month after release. Yeah, they ruined Spider-Man 2. Yeah, they canceled so many projects with it, dude. Because someone leaked all of it.
I had a vision. The Reapers kidnapped Brandon. This is his wife, Lene. I can see the echo of someone running away.
Follow it. We need to find out what happened.
Like, words cannot express, like, if they didn't cancel the Spider-Man 2 multiplayer, like like it was like the Across the Spider-Verse like DLC, then I would be playing that right now. That's all I'd play, because the gameplay is amazing. I was actually looking forward to the Wonder Woman game on the Nemesis system. Yeah, but Warner Brothers canceled that too. And people were like, why? You were like mostly done with it. Like what, 4 or 5 years of development they were working on it, and then suddenly they're like, we don't feel like doing it anymore, because like fucking Dave Zaslav, dude. Like, that one man is responsible for gutting so many beloved studios and like of ruining TV shows. Like, this guy will literally tank any company. Oh, excuse me. Ah, got a dust bunny right there. Like, dude, any company he touches, he runs into the ground almost like in less than a year. Like, it's insane. Like, any company this guy attaches himself to, he ruins every project that he's like overseeing. He'll cancel every good thing they were doing and then give himself a paycheck. Like 60% of the staff at like HBO Warner Brothers was just like, yeah, we're denying his like self-given paycheck of $65 million after gutting most studios. I'm curious what Superman game they were going to come out with when they continue from the movie. That's the thing. They had all this stuff planned and already in like the budget for stuff to do. And this guy came in, he's like, I think we should cut all these projects and give myself a wonderful like pay package. And they're like, but why? He's like, because I'm the CEO now. It's like, that doesn't mean you just cancel all of our projects that were going to make us money and give yourself a check. And he's like, but that's what I've been doing. Because he keeps all he does is he fails himself upward. How do you fail upward? You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine how good of the Wonder Woman game would have been had this dude not gutted the entire like development staff and then like gave himself their budgets as like his paycheck?
The feds, man. That's what's up. Watching our every move. Even caught one scoping out the roof. Was leaning against the wall down there.
I was so psyched for it. Yeah.
Hey, you tell me, where the hell did he get that?
I don't know, Zeke. But if we want to be out of here, this is the way it's gotta be.
Come on, man. Don't be stupid. They'll ride you as long as they can. But the second you're no longer useful, bam! You vanish.
I think all that conspiracy stuff has rotted your brain.
Hey, don't kill the messenger, brother. I'm just telling it like it is. You watch your back.
Like, I was so mad, dude. Like, it's the more I learn of how much these guys, that's like one man is responsible for like ruining so much beloved like studios and like companies and everything. Like, he's the reason Cartoon Network had like to gut a bunch of their shows, man, because he's like, I don't like this. Let's just end the whole project. And they're like, why? It's making us money. He's like, yeah, but it's not making me money. Like, that guy needs to be barred from being the CEO of anything, let alone having a say in any type of media. Damn. Goodness, oh gracious.
What the hell happened? The entire neon just went dark.
That's because one of those maniacs blew up a whole substation. Man, brain feels like it's in a vice.
Your body must be reacting to the absence of electricity. You're gonna have to man up and find Carrie. If we don't restore the power, the Reapers will be unstoppable.
There we go. Need one more for a new battery. You know what? I'm gonna BRB real quick. I'm gonna put my kitty cat outside because he wants to go play. Okay, I'm back. There we go. And coincidentally, ad break also ends in about a couple seconds. So it's like, I just think that they shouldn't let CEOs decide what projects get canceled if they're already like so many years into production. Unless it's something that's like dumb as hell. Wonder Woman wasn't dumb. It's just the DC universe kept shit in the bed, dude. Like, I do think James Gunn is going to do a great job with the Superman movie. I'm super excited for it.
The Reapers must have needed Carrie's help in shutting down the underground linear transformer.
Please, you gotta help me. Thank you.
So they're not going to make games that are tied to the movie? I'm not really sure. I would love for them to.
Stop the Reapers. They're running around with some electrician, killing anyone they find down here.
The transformer's back on. Now what?
Restart the distribution substation by charging up the voltage regulator mounted to its front. That should be enough to get the power back on.
I'm dying for a Superman game. I am too, my friend. I would love a Flash game if done properly. But the problem with a Flash game is they'd have to kind of do it. They'd kind of have to do it like the TV show, where it's like, it would have to be really situational how strong his powers are. Like, it would be situational because, like, I think it was said best in the show is like, yeah, you're faster than the speed of light. How is it you're having trouble with any of this? The one time I played it was Superman Return once. That one's not that bad.
She thinks I killed her sister. Yeah, well, I'm not holding my breath. I'll catch you later.
it's just, I think I remember playing the Superman N64 game, the one that people claim was like the worst game of all time. Just flying through rings to heal.
Nah, I got into urban exploration about 4 years ago. Crawled all over this city, so I know these sewers like the back of my hand.
He's talking about parkour.
What are you doing here? Did they see you?
I need to turn on the substation.
Are you out of your damn mind? The Reapers will kill my wife. No one is getting in here.
Open the door.
Screw you! I've jammed this thing up tight. No one is getting in or out until she's safe.
Poor guy. Still thinks he's protecting Lene. Doesn't change the fact that I need to get in there. I can either fry him and open the door that way, or tell him that his wife is dead. See if that gets him to back off. Lene is dead. They shot her.
How do you know her name?
I know this is hard. I saw her body. There was nothing anyone could do.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted. I'm so sorry, Lene. Listen to me. I've seen what you can do. You have to kill them. All of them. Promise me.
I'll do what I can.
I do love the substation like side missions, dude, just to get more powers. I have bio leech. I mean, I don't like using it, but arc restraint's fun. So is healing. Good way to stack good XP.
Nice work. Looks like power is fully restored to North Beach. There are 3 more substations that are still offline, though. I'll mark them on your GPS as I find them.
Remember what my brother and I used to do when we first played this game on PS3? Is the moment we would get to the part where we can collect blast shards, that's all we do until we were like maxed out in every area, and then we'd continue the story. Now, I would do that. That would be very, very boring entertainment. Same. I don't know. It's just knowing how high the bar can go and then like not doing everything in your power to make it as high as quickly as possible, because you just want to be able to spam the fun abilities. Exactly. The moment you get like the missile ability, like pressing triangle and just spamming the explodey shot, the grenades are fun, but like you have to actually aim and throw. Like there's literally a Magneto character in this game, like the second like the fellow that controls the home, like the Dustmen, the homeless people. He just has really strong magnetism. That's his power. But also I'm just like, y'all could have just straight up said he's like, oh yeah, master of magnetism. That's Magneto, dude. You have this guy who controls electricity in any way, shape, and form, and then eventually he masters it to the point where he could travel through time. Like I would have loved to play as a fully realized Cole with like a perfect mastery of his powers. Like that's what Kessler is. But he decided to use it to go back in time and then just fuck with his younger self psychologically. And I'm just like, there's so many better things he could have done. Like if I doubt he knew who the Beast was in the future, which is probably why he spent so much time like orchestrating things to make it so that like his younger self would be ready for when the Beast did show up. But I'm like, wouldn't it have made, yeah, the PS2 was the last console I got and kept. I think I have mine in my garage somewhere, and I know I have my PS4, my old one, in my closet. My brother has a PS5, but I don't feel the need to get one. Like, I just don't feel the need to get one. Like, I have a PC, it's objectively better. Because I didn't start getting into PC gaming till I was in my 20s, and I gotta say, best decision I ever made. For a multitude of reasons. Well, for one, backwards compatibility. Like, playing this, I would not be able to play on PS5. I mean, I would to an extent, but it wouldn't be like as smooth as this. Plus, emulation. I love playing PS2 games on this, dude. It's one of my favorite things to do. Like, I've been addicted to Soul Calibur 3, like, as of, like, recently. And when I tell you addicted to Soul Calibur 3, I'm talking like, I got it for the Blu-ray, well, 100%. I'm really tempted to, like, get a computer mod that just adds a, like, disk drive. It wouldn't be that hard to get one. Like, an external disk drive, so I could just watch Blu-rays. But then it runs into the issue of me having to buy the Blu-rays. Which I don't mind. I have an entire, like, garage full of old school CDs and DVDs that I could just rip onto this. Which I think would be great. But that just takes like a lot of extra effort and a lot of extra time. Which, you know, if you're motivated enough, by all means. There's nothing wrong with having physical, like, memorabilia. I think people are too focused on everything being digital and into the cloud and not enough on what you're holding in your hands. Like, I love physical media. I think I'm a firm believer it should make a strong comeback in, like, the pop culture, but, like, it kind of sucks that people are being priced out of having things they physically own. And it's like the thing about digital gaming, like, digital video games are a big, they don't own your games anymore. Yeah, I was about to bring this up. So the problem with every game being digital is back in the day, having a digital game meant you didn't have a physical copy. You had a download copy that you would have on whatever console you had. Now, the purpose of this was to alleviate shipping costs. That's why digital games back in the day were about $10 to $20 cheaper than a physical copy of a game, because it would completely eliminate the cost of shipping, like, to a store and then buying the physical copy. The problem with it now is that it's been so normalized to have everything digital that the price for physical became the price of digital, and now the price of digital exceeds that of what was once physical. And now what you could get that is physical is usually double what is digital now. If that makes sense. It's a weird line of reasoning, but I'm rocking with it. But it's like, if I want to buy a physical copy of a game, like a game I genuinely have love and faith for and trust in, like, for example, if I was going to get the Knights of the Old Republic remake, that's a game I would want to own physically and get the collector's edition. Yeah, I'm not paying $80 for a game I can't even own. That is the best mindset to have. If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. Because you can't steal something you don't. Because it's like, it just feels like robbery, right? Like, they're robbing from you. You'll give us $80 for, like, to play a game, quote unquote, own this game, but at any time we could revoke the fact that you own it, but we won't refund your money. That's just stealing. That's renting then. Just say that it's renting or leasing. But they're like, oh, you signed a contract. I'm like, no, I didn't sign shit. I just agreed to a pop-up that's too small to read. That's why I only buy games on GOG. Exactly. Because you own those games. Of course, we all love and praise Steam, but Steam is one of those games. The main reason people use it is because it's so not necessarily popularized. It is the most popular gaming platform. It's been around for so long and so trusted. That's what a lot of people go to. It's their first thing to do when they build a new PC, install Steam, play some games. That's why. Like, personally, first computer I built about a decade ago, first thing I did, I installed Windows, I downloaded Chrome, downloaded Steam, and started playing Counter-Strike. Let me tell you something. Old school CSGO was a treat back in the day. 1.6 even more so. Source was something that I never got around to playing, even though it was around when I was, like, active in FPS games. Not competitive FPS games like Counter-Strike. Like, a lot of the newer games that are coming out, I don't really have faith in. A majority of them are really hit or miss.
Ground zero. A lot of kids over there freezing their asses off. If you got something to spare, take it over there. Those kids need it more than you do. And just because you haven't gotten your kids' clothes doesn't get you off the hook. Get whatever you got.
Cole, I just got a call from an EMT in your area. The Reapers have overrun his makeshift medical clinic, and he needs your help.
I can't solve all the world's problems, Moya.
Maybe not.
First time I used Steam was when Skyrim came out because you had to get it to play the game. Yeah. I remember I got Skyrim a couple weeks after it came out back in 2011. And I remember my brother and our good friend and I, we all went to the mall. And we went to like the GameStop that was in the mall. We got it because we all had a PlayStation. And so we just shared it. We would just take the disc to each other's houses. And so what was insane is we were trying to buy Skyrim. That's the only thing we were in there for. And this guy was holding up the line because he kept trying to pre-order stuff but didn't know how to. And after that guy was done, he held up the line for a good 45 minutes. And afterwards, like, we literally did our transaction. Took us about 30 seconds to a minute. And when we're like, literally took us like less than a minute to get our transaction done. And like that afterwards, the GameStop employee's like, you guys see how quick that was compared to people who refuse to listen to basic instruction? And like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm telling him how to do a pre-order like he wanted. He kept saying, well, I want to do it this way. And I'm like, sir, we don't do it that way. This is how we do it. This is the only way we can do it. This is what we're doing. He's like, well, I don't want to do it that way. He's like, then you're not making a pre-order. He's like, but I want a pre-order. Like, it's just a roundabout logic like that. That makes me glad I don't work retail, because I would lose my sanity more so than I do now working in like carpentry. Because I deal with some dumbass people all the time, but doing it on a consistent basis like that would drive me to the point of like going physically nuts. Like, I would turn into a guy that shows up to work in like a banana costume and just start throwing ice cream at people. That's how crazy I would get. Yeah, Jesus, indeed. Stop running from me. Let me shock you. There we go. Wow, 2%. That's a whole lot. Severely wounded, you in area, you will recover at this clinic. All right.
There are other people around there who need help too. Keep an eye out for them.
Karma's unchanged, but I helped people. I do like that it had a karma system, because the year prior to this releasing, Fallout 3 released, which had a massive karma system. New Vegas had it too. Don't know why it was missing from Fallout 4. I felt like a weird stylistic change. But the thing is, because with the recent PC upgrades I did, I would have to reinstall Fallout New Vegas, and that massive 800 plus mod list. Not only remembering, because I remember how to do it, I could very easily do it over a weekend, but it would take me so long to download all of those mods and reorganize them the way it did to get it to work the way it did. Like, that was just a week of just like organizing stuff in the mod folder.
Because the dishes are relatively isolated and secure. I'll use them for my
I'm tempted. Kind of want to do it again. But then I would do nothing but play Fallout New Vegas and 3. It's like 3 in New Vegas, Halo 2 Wasteland. Like when Witcher 4 and such come out, I'll buy them even if it's $100 because I would own it. That's very true. The Witcher 4, super excited for. That's because I love the Witcher franchise. Like, you cannot tell me that the Witcher games are never like absolute amazing, because CD Projekt Red, I'm gonna give it to them. They know how to make a damn good game. Cyberpunk, yeah, had a rocky start, but look where it is now, 5 years down the line. Fantastic.
Hey Moya, I'm in position.
Witcher 3, one of my favorite, and the Witcher 1 remake, yes, dude. Absolutely yes.
Without that tower, you'll fall off the grid. I can't allow that.
Like, the Witcher 1 remake is something I am gonna like go nutty boombalutty playing. And you hear there's another DLC coming for The Witcher 3 next year? Another one? Another one.
Those guys will slaughter me.
It's like Christmas in July.
And charging up that tower drained me dry.
Stick to the high ground and avoid them.
Also for Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, they're doing that, what, 2.1 update, right?
There are probably some scattered across the rooftops.
You're gonna get me killed.
Call me when you're in the sewer.
It is like Christmas in July. Because I love Cyberpunk. Like, the thing is, Cyberpunk is one of those games where it feels weird for me to play on stream. Because it's not that I'll get immersed into it. It's like, it's one of those games where I won't be able to play it for just 3 or 4 hours at a time. I gotta dedicate a whole day to it. You know what I mean? It changed the game so much I would love to play it from the beginning. That's exactly what I did when they initially did the Cyberpunk. Is it the Reloaded thing that they called it when Phantom Liberty came out? I have yet to play Phantom Liberty, but I'm probably going to now that I know there's more DLC coming along. But all I know is that Phantom Liberty, great DLC, added a lot of like to the story. And from my friends keep telling me it gives you like another alternate ending to the initial story. But I'm going to be real with you. I always went with either the space heist casino ending or the Aldecados ending because I love Panam Palmer as a character. Judy Alvarez too. But I always end up siding with, almost every time, I always go for Panam. I just can't help myself. I just don't know why. Because Panam's just like a ride or die. But then like the DLC, Phantom Liberty, the endings, all the endings you can get, like they're all bittersweet. Because she's gorgeous. Absolutely. Like I'm a simple man, all right? I see a beautiful woman like that like, even your character in game is just like, every time he sees her, he's like, damn. I'm like, yeah, dude, I get it. Fun fact, Judy Alvarez, played by Sasha Kaye, the girl that played, Sasha Kaye, she played Supergirl in the Flash movie, which didn't know that till after the Flash movie came out. So I'm like, why do I recognize her face? And she's like, oh, wait, because she was in Cyberpunk. Just, she doesn't have face tattoos now. But like, goddamn, Panam Palmer, man. Like, that's the type, like, just thinking about her. Thinking about the game with Panam Palmer, and even your character always says, that is a mighty fine ride you have right there. And she's like, you're talking about the car, right? He's like, sure. And I'm just like, same. Like, he is a stronger man or woman than I, because like, I would fold immediately. And I have several times in several playthroughs. And her character has depth too. Yeah, she has trauma, and like quite a bit of it too. She cares for her family and her clan, so it's like, or a group of riders, dude. And she's like deeply in love with your character, like towards the end of the story. And it's one of those things where you're just like, yeah, you don't want to disappoint her in any way. You actually want to better yourself as like a player character. Like, it's rare that like a video game character makes you want to better yourself in any kind of way because you don't want to disappoint a virtual character. But then you realize it's one of those things where you're just like, yeah, I know she's a fictional character, but she has real world impact that my character and both my, as the player, feel because of just how touched you are by how good the writing is. Like when the writing is good enough to make you want to better yourself in real life because a character affects you that much, that's an amazing game. I think the only games, like the other games comparable that make you like want to genuinely better yourself as a human being, I would say the God of War series from 2018 and Ragnarok. The God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, when you play those games through and through, you're just like, damn, I could be better than what I am now, and I'm going to better myself. If Kratos can overcome his, you know, all the shit that he's gone through, overcome all like, I like the originals. Oh yeah, classic God of War can never be beat. Amazing revenge story. The sequel trilogy of God, or the sequel 2 games of God of War, like 2018 and Ragnarok, Kratos comes to terms with what he is, ends up trying to redeem himself, being a good father and like, you know, protect his son, and then ends up going through a whole redemption arc where he has to overcome what he has done and accept who he is. It's like to grow as a character is one thing, but to have a video game character who undergoes a great severe amount of trauma and in doing so wants to, yeah, well, they're hinting at that. He does owe her a son, so it's like, you know, maybe.
Hey man, everyone around here keeps carrying on about you delivering that bomb. Even George is running his mouth about it.
George? He's the one who called me. Said he's got a package burning up all over his desk and that I needed to beeline it. So I pick it up and take off.
Well, he claims that no one else can deliver it. That it had to be you.
I mean, you can feel the tension at the end of the second between them. Oh, 100%.
They sucked. And when I get there, someone calls and tells me to open the package. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in a crater.
Well, at least you got superpowers out of it. And don't worry about George and those other idiots. I'll cover for you, man. They're freaking gossip queens anyway.
It was kind of funny when like the it's like the Valhalla DLC came out and she's like, how the hell did you get into the gates of Valhalla? He's like, I opened them with my hands. You just opened them with your hands. He's like, yes, like it's hard. I'm just like, you have any idea how fucking strong you gotta be to open a gate between like the afterlife and the physical realm? Absurdly so. Well, he is a god. And now in several mythologies, he's a god too. Because he's the god of war in Greek mythology, and they want him, I know Freya wanted him to become the god of war in the Norse mythology, but he turned it down and ended up becoming the god of hope, or hope or redemption, whatever interpretation you want to give. But I think he's better as the god of hope. And I love that for him.
Nice work, Cole.
Like, it works for Kratos' character, because he no longer wants to be this warmongering maniac. He just wants to, you know, be a better person. And he does. And he's like, yeah, I owe you a son. I killed yours. We could make another. And I'm just like, I mean, they live for thousands of years. They're really in no rush to have kids. But it feels, because Atreus, well, he was manipulated. Yeah.
I figured out why the Reapers were destroying the water pipes under the bridge. By isolating the city's water system, they can pump their plague into every home in the city. Anyone drinking that sludge will get sick, or worse.
Great.
Yeah, and it gets better. I'm getting reports that Smith Fountain is already polluted, and there are a lot of casualties. Head over there and confirm my intel. Then we'll figure out what we're going to do.
It is kind of nuts that Kratos as a character is like,
Hey man, you ain't gonna believe this one.
it's an enjoyable
Those
character.
areas of the city you've been clearing out are crime-free now. People are hanging up posters with your face on them.
I'm doing what I can, Zeke. No one needs to throw me a parade.
I know, man, I know. Still, that's pretty damn cool.
Kind of feels weird I can't drain this sign. No way you're alive as this, like a bomber. No, stop bouncing off the wall. Thank you. I love the Chaos Blades. Yeah, dude. The Blades of Chaos were like such an amazing thing narratively. Like after he killed the Greek pantheon, every time he tried to throw them away, he'd wake up and they're attached to his arms again. It's like a punishment. Like Trace even asked, if you hate them so much, why not try why not get rid of them? He's like, I tried. They kept finding their way back to me. It's so like, it's such a good, he's such a good character. I remember the original creator, David Jaffe, didn't like that he went through a redemption arc. He's like, he's supposed to be edgy and badass and violent all the time. And I'm like, dog, characters can grow beyond their creators. You know what I mean? He's like the perfect example of that. And blast core. Oh, I need one more now. It's like when a character becomes public domain and anyone can make a story revolving around them now. Like Steamboat Willie. There we go. Powers. Thunder drop. Let's reduce more damage, please. Electric drain. I'll get that next. Is that a conduit that just moved? I hear a chain gun. Yep, there you are, bud. Ow. I think one good aspect about Cole's character is that he just feels like he's inclined to do the right thing, but he's like, should I do this? Would this be good? Would this be bad? It's to let the player decide what decision the character is going to make, which I love when games do that. Because now that I think about it, there's not many games that give you like a legitimate karmic system. You know, where it's like, oh, you just give you the option to only ever be good, but they're like, yeah, but you could also be bad, and this is why you should or should not do that. This game is like, yeah, I could do this, but if I did this, I would be this, you know? Therefore, because I've done this, this happens. I think the next substation gives you the sniper ability. Yeah, part of me wants to stack these side missions to get Reaper control out of this section of the city because it is so annoying them randomly popping up during story missions. They're making a second one.
Not looking good, Moya.
The game Undefeated?
People all over the place.
I think I've heard of it.
The water in the fountain is black.
If they're making a second one, I'll play the first one.
Get over there. We need to find a way to stop this.
There's Trish.
Come on, breathe. Breathe.
Think Superman without being Superman. So like Invincible? They are making an Invincible game, a fighting game, mind you, but it's still an Invincible game.
What are you doing here?
Moya wanted me to see what's going on with the fountain.
Who's Moya?
Doesn't matter. Look, Trish. I know what that guy said about me.
My sister is dead because of you.
I swear I didn't know what was in that package.
He has all his powers. Then I definitely want to play this.
You can start by closing that valve over there. It's jammed, and I can't turn it. That's how the black tar is getting into the fountain. Oh, it's all over your eyes. I need to get a solvent out of my car. Follow me.
I've been watching you. Waiting for this moment. Anticipating it.
Who's doing this?
She hates you. Loathes you. Power frightens her. She'll never love you. I can make you forget about her. Everything we've shared. Gone. Whisper. No pain. No heartache.
Goodness.
Hold still.
Thanks.
That's the only time I'm helping you, Cole. If you get that stuff on you again, you're just gonna have to wait for it to wear off.
Damn.
I took care of the fountain, Moya. I had to shut off the feeder pipe that led into it.
There are 2 more water mains in the area.
Gotcha. I'll turn those off and see what happens.
I mean, people are getting poisoned by the water. Your first instinct is, I mean, you have lightning powers. Why not just use like the magnets? Well, I don't know. I don't think he doesn't have that much control over him yet. Undefeated. That sounds, God, that sounds really, that sounds crazy familiar. Okay, it's on Steam. Hold on. We're gonna do a little side quest here. Steam? I want to see what this is. You said undefeated? Undisputed. Undefeated. Oh, this. Yeah. Yes, this is literally the become invincible heroes, unlimited superpowers. Yeah, I've seen this. Like, I see gameplay of this all the time on like the social medias. 2019. It's like a project, right? So you straight up are just Superman. Like, is there a story? They're making a sequel. It's supposed to come out this year. Like, I'm gonna add this to my library. Okay, that's obviously, it's free to play, so like people are, yeah, you're just Superman. That's like really cool. No story. Oh, so it's just a sandbox game. Yeah, this literally feels like an Invincible mixed with Superman mixed with like free roam DBZ. I think Superman returns without a story. Yeah. Absorbing a meteorite's strength and getting even stronger. Oh, the heat vision. It's gonna be laser eyes, right? Yeah, laser eyes. So heat vision. Wonder if they got sued for this. This is what like a legit Superman game would be. I'd play the hell out of this. Next stream. Next time. 3 million downloaded more than 3 million times. Yeah, this just looks completely insane. God, that is insane. Well, if they're making a second one, I hope they have a story to it. You know? And he doesn't look like him, so yeah. Don't call him that, he doesn't look like him. Yeah, it's just it's just black shirt superpower simulator. I'd play that. The second one is the origin. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see a genuine story to this. It has potential. I see the embers burning on the barbecue of creation, all right? And I want there to be something good to come out of it. Because you know me, I love an origin story. But you know one thing I wish they would do that they're never going to do? You know Jak and Daxter, right? The beloved game franchise from like the year 2000 and then 2003 and then 2004. What I would love, because when you learn the lore of Jak and Daxter, it is absolutely nuts how much the games do not cover, like any of them. So like, you know, like the Otzels are what created the planets, right? Are you aware that the Metalheads are their ancient alien galactic enemies that chase them? Jak and Daxter Jak and Daxter is a game franchise that is beloved for like, it's been around since the year 2000, arguably one of the greatest game franchises of all time. The lore of it is absolutely insane because the games do not cover any of the lore in any way. all of this you learn from like developers who worked on it. And so, like, imagine orange talking weasels that create sentient life and seed planets throughout the galaxy and create planets throughout the galaxy. And their entire civilization was wiped out by space traveling bugs who stole their technology and like hijacked their interdimensional teleportation and time traveler technology. Like, imagine that. Like an entire civilization of spacefaring weasels that create life and planets and life on those planets are defeated by basically the Tyranids from Warhammer 40k, but they could talk. And the game covers like one guy who's like the child of, quote unquote, the child of prophecy, who stops the metalheads from eating his planet, basically. At least in the second game. Third game, trying to remember. It's been like 20 years since I played it. Yeah, Jack and Daxter, you're missing out, bud. Talking about amazing game franchises. Amazing game franchises, I'm sad they'll never revive, or they'll never do with. They had planned a Jack 4 for the PS3, but it never went anywhere.
Son of a... I feel your broken heart, Cole. So much emotion, bottled up with nowhere to go. Why do you love her? She's been... You deserve better.
Oh, just shut up.
You're all alone, you know. No one cares about you. Not the girl. Not the fat man on the roof.
You did it again? Never heard of it. What do you mean I did it again?
Only I love you. I've always loved you, Cole. Always. Forever.
For God's sake, get out.
Got the sludge in your eyes? Yeah, you're supposed to. One thing I do love is that it feels weird that this game is obviously, well, it's not, well, it is dated. It came out in 2009, but the gameplay still holds up in my opinion.
If I turn that valve, I'll take another blast of crud to the face. Probably screw me up, send me on another mind trip. Or maybe I force this guy to do it for me.
Always do the good action. Why? That's what Ron Boitano would do.
You won't be able to shut me up forever. Eventually, a crack will appear, and that crack will spread and grow larger, and then the wall comes down. It's only a matter of time.
You're only a matter of time.
Now that the valves are off, you need to figure out how those maniacs are getting that tar into the system. The only primary water line around there runs under Memorial Park. Head into the tunnel and look for it.
You don't know love, not true love, but I will teach you. The bastard will see what he lost.
Hours? 600, huh? I got more melee. Once I get 200 more, I'll get the higher drain. Why are you running towards the explosions, Dumbo? Damn NPCs. Oh, jeez. I don't want to kill you. Get the hell out of the way. Stop running towards people dying. You're stupid. Oh, geez, Rick. Oh, this guy just scattergunned me, dude. I don't mind checkpoints like that, but if the NPCs are going to just run into enemy fire for no reason.
And then, the bastard was what he lost.
Right back at you. There we go. I wonder if he can't use deodorant because of like the lightning. Would it just melt on him? Curse you and your holograms. Oh, I thought I was dead. Now I'm dead. Fuck. Don't put me at the... Oh, at least, yeah, checkpoint. Thank you. It's one of the missions I actually didn't like because of how annoying it is. There we go.
There's a truck attached to the pipe down here.
That's probably the source of the plague. Destroy it.
There we go.
What the hell is that stuff?
Some kind of mind control agent. It appears to be organic, but I don't know how they're producing it.
Yeah, well, sure did a number on me. I'm heading back to Zeke's. My head is killing me.
Made you more heroic. That's what we like to see. I always love the draining animation. I will say. I will say. I will say. Fun game. This is basically a test to see if we could like get consistent frame rates like with the emulator, because so far I think it's good. If it wasn't 100 degrees right now and me sweating my balls off, I'd have my face camera on. I will pay by saving your life, and that's how grateful you are. I don't know. I'd be really petty if I was a superhero. Like if someone had the audacity to like talk shit, but they're just like, hey, I know you saved my life, but you know, like, screw you, dude. I'm just like, what, for saving you? I didn't ask to be saved. Okay, next time I won't save you. But wait, don't not save me. I'm in California. It's very hot. I think specifically because it's in my room, and my room has really poor ventilation. That's why it's hotter. Yeah. Because I know in Arizona it's worse. I will never compare California to Arizona because I know Arizona immediately has it worse. Like, I have friends there who the tires on their car will melt if you leave their car in an unshaded area in the summer heat. That's a crazy thing. They're not really riots. It's just the, because I don't know if I can talk about it on Twitch, but like it's just, they're not riots. The people who are doing the peaceful protest are doing them peacefully. It's the police that are trying to get them to escalate, but they're not falling for it. Yeah, Vegas is very hot. I mean, they don't have, I mean, it's not their fault. It's in the middle of a desert. Yeah, it's summer, it's 110 every day. Golly. I do not envy you, my dude. I don't live there anymore. Yeah, my mom used to live in Vegas. She would always tell me that, like, only live there for, yeah, so did my mom. She lived there for a year and then eventually came back down here. But man, it's just that kind of heat, you know, like I don't function well in the heat. It's like a thing. I don't know if it's a genetic thing, but my mom has it too. If it's way too, 100% way too expensive. The only benefit would be is like, is there no state income tax because they expect you to gamble? Is that what it is? I know some other states are the same way, but, I remember it's just like, it's because they expect you to gamble, so there's no state income tax. All I know is that it's too ridiculously hot out there because it's a desert, and I could not physically function out there because like my mom has the same thing that I have. If it gets too hot and my body cannot cool down, like without air conditioning, I will just fall asleep and it will have really hard time waking up. Like our bodies physically shut down if it's too hot. I mean, sure, I've adjusted. I always carry water with me, but also it's like, I thought it was just something, everything is so overpriced. 100%, because it's a gambler's based economy, because there's no state tax that like they have to, or there's no income tax. They have to make everything else more expensive to like, to justify like, you know, stuff like that. I would love to not have to pay income tax. I think no one wants to pay income tax.
Over to the feds, man.
Do I have a choice?
Man alive, do you know what they'll do with something like that? Especially if the Pentagon is wrapped up in all this. It's an ultimate weapon.
And what's your suggestion, Jedediah? We hide it under your couch?
Only my mama calls me Jedediah. That's not important right now. Listen, I say we crack that baby open and give everyone powers. It's the only way to make sure we don't get screwed.
Yeah, I think we're already screwed.
Mm-hmm. Every man is guilty of all the good he did not do, Voltaire. Great quote. Great quote.
I flagged the position of the next
$700 for utilities alone?
Shouldn't I be hunting for John in the Ray Sphere?
You need to look at the big picture. Every time you restore electricity to a section of
Golly.
the city, your powers escalate. I'd say that's a valuable use of your time. I'll be in touch once you get the substation back online.
We'll do this next substation and then we'll probably call it for the evening. But here's my crescendo from this. So the thing about California that I can't stand, that I think everyone from California knows what I'm talking about, is the absurd prices for rent. The only places I know that has more expensive rent than California is New York. And people from New York don't like living in New York. That's the thing. To put in perspective, there was a studio apartment that's near where I'm at right now. Studio apartment, mind you. No bedroom.
First 30
For
minutes or so,
$1,800 a month,
on my
like
midsection,
$1,850.
hitting me square on the
That's
ribs.
not counting utilities, just $1,850 for just
Squinted
the
my
rent
eyes and gave
for
me
a
looks,
studio
trying to
apartment.
make it look like I was really
A very
doing
small
something with
one,
my
mind you.
I just made him laugh. After landing 3 straight blows to my head, he bent over and told me to focus, to shape my thoughts and make them real. And if I couldn't do it, he was gonna beat me to death. Then he punched me so damn hard I blacked out.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, there needs to be an actual overhaul of like rental stuff, because some of these prices are just non-realistic. Like, I remember the apartments that I lived in when I was in high school and college, they had this thing where if you were a student, you paid a certain amount, but they were expecting people that were 18, 19, 20 years old to somehow pay like $2,000 a month. And at the time, those apartments were like $750, $850 a month. But now those same apartments that are still the same sizes, mind you, and still the same renovations are like 2 G's for pretty much nothing. Yeah, and you would get one size of a closet for that price. Yeah, yeah. In New York, it's even worse. A buddy of mine moved to New York a couple years ago, and he moved back like less than 2 years because he just couldn't afford it. He was like, oh yeah, I moved there for work, but like everything went remote, you know, when the pandemic hit. And so it's just like, he just ended up moving back to California because it was cheaper. Lived there for 49 years. Golly. That's an entire lifetime and a half. Don't get me wrong, it would be an amazing place to like live. I don't like paying. I wouldn't pay to live there, but I'd love to visit. And I guarantee it's like a wonderful experience, you know? And like all the crazy people you'll meet, like the bodegas, the sense of community. Yeah, I was born there. Yeah. It's a great place to be proud of if you're from there.
Hey Moya, I'm down in the sewer. Should have the power back on in no time.
Me personally, I would love New York deep dish pizza. Or not deep dish, what am I thinking of? New York pizza. I hear the pizza in New York is legendary. And that the rats are as big as dogs. Sniper. Oh no, wait, I got the grinding ability. It's the one you were talking about. There was always something to do, yeah, and it's a walkable city. I would love to live in a walkable area.
Hey.
I live in the suburbs. Nice.
Believe me, I'd love to. No idea where he's hiding, though.
Probably holed up in the old TV station over in the historic district. You find him, you give him a taste of the good stuff. He's got to learn not to run his mouth all the time.
Yeah, pizza there is amazing. I have no doubt. I'd look forward to that. But I feel like I'd take it for granted, you know? I wouldn't appreciate it enough. Because I'd be so close to it, you know? Awesome. About 15 minutes from Manhattan. Yeah. I would love a subway system out here, dude. You ever know how convenient it would be to have like a bullet train from like California to New York, which they were going to make, but Elon Musk made it so that it would never happen. because they were starting to make it, but he's like, no, let's do my underground thing instead. And everyone's like, are you ever actually going to do it? He's like, no, I've changed my mind, but I'll make laws so people can't actually do the other thing. Fucking billionaires, man. Like, I genuinely think there needs to be like a law against billionaires actively, like, deliberately trying to fuck up a country just for their own, just because they're bored. You know what I mean? There used to be laws against stuff like that, but you know what happened? Corporate greed. My cat is biting my toes. Powers. I know there's one where you could upgrade the. Yeah, there we go. Automatically charge your driving. Oh, I could just skip it? I didn't know I could skip. Awesome. 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 Super awesome. That's another substation activated. Wait for it. There we go. Slightly more heroic. Slightly more. Ever so slightly. Well. Wait, is there going to be a GPS ping? A message? Yeah, there we go.
When you're ready, I've got a couple of things I'd like you to look into. One of them might lead us to John.
Oh, wait, I'm like right here. So what I will do... Save game. I'm gonna make a new save data because the other one is me playing it like testing otherwise. So, I'm having fun with Infamous. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm glad the emulator works, or specifically the emulation for Infamous works as well as it does. I'm very happy. Infamous 2 works way smoother because there's patches that I could download through the emulation. The first one didn't have patches, so I was kind of iffy about to see. Trying to see if it would work as intended. It is. I'm very happy about that. This was a test for it. Our next stream, we're going to come back to Jedi Survivor and then continue through that until we beat the game. But for now, I'm glad Infamous works. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I will die on this hill that it's an amazing game that I feel like everyone needs to experience at least once. It's one of those games that's like, you play it once and you're like, I need more. I need there to be more of this. And then luckily there's a second game, Infamous 2. And then they had the DLC Festival of Blood where you become a vampire temporarily to kill Bloody Mary. And then obviously Infamous Second Son, which was a PS4 launch title that they just went nowhere with, which I am beyond disappointed for. That being said, good evening. Thanks for dropping by, Boy Scout. Always love having you. Yeah, have a slice of pizza on me, bud. That's why I never played it. Yeah. Because I hate playing games that they imply they're working on a sequel that just to have it get canceled. The only exception to this is Days Gone, because I love that game so much and they hyped it up so much, but even though it sold amazingly, they still considered it a failure. Sony considered it a failure and just canceled the sequel, which I'm just like, dude, it's such a good game and yet such an amazing horde mechanic and such a great story. I wasn't getting a PS4 to play that, I remember. Yeah, but it's on PC now. I highly recommend. If it's a game I could recommend, I will never not recommend Days Gone to people. If you love zombie survival games, if you love third-person shooters, if you love not necessarily compelling characters, but an interesting enough character where you're just like, okay, I get why he's like the way he is, you know? Plus, you get to ride a motorcycle the whole game. That's amazing. Anyway, that's been me. Thanks for dropping by, and have a good evening. Have a great weekend, fellas. I have Days Gone. Yeah, Days Gone, great game.